Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Just got out of the shower. Guys, listen, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so just bear with me for a while. So it's my post-market wrap-up on Wednesday, this Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. I want to start off with this headline from the World Council of Churches. The World Council of Churches is a fellowship of 352 churches from more than 120 countries, which represent 580 million Christians worldwide. So you guys and girls can take this any way you want. Here's a headline from the World Council of Churches. Unprecedented civilian death toll in Yemen from 2 months of U.S. airstrikes. You remember the airstrikes that the beautiful President Trump said was necessary? Well, we apparently murdered a vast amount of civilians, according to the World Council of Churches, and you paid for it. Just again, what is this really all about? It's about liquidity. You see that 2 month war over there, the president that was against war, murdering civilians, probably by the thousands. Um, it wasn't enough to keep the system liquid. So now we're probably going to be entering directly into a new war, which has already started, and the United States is involved, just in case you were wondering. So, how does that make you feel? Again, a Christian organization representing 580 million Christians around the world is saying, because of the action of the United States, unprecedented civilian death toll. Makes you feel good, doesn't it? Yeah. Maybe you guys and girls need to read this book, maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, I would advise that. But again, every time I bring up God or the Almighty, then I got to put on a tinfoil hat. Anyway, listen, we're going to move forward here. Let's talk about some economic news, because our economy is fantastic and we're bringing manufacturing back here to the United States. We're going to make this place great again somehow by murdering civilians. Yes, I guess that's what would happen if you were the Antichrist. Anyway, so we got some economic news earlier, which we covered. Retail sales virtually non-existent, and factory and manufacturing activity here in the United States is continuing to contract. Now we get this. Housing starts plummet to a 5-year low as buyers stay on the sidelines. Now, what's the root cause of this problem? What does it come down to? The currency. Absolutely, as I've been telling you guys and girls for 1,000 years. But we heard today from the Federal Reserve and from President Trump, and we're going to talk about that. President Trump again screaming from rooftops that we need a weaker dollar, and we need to lower rates right freaking now, as if the dollar has not lost enough purchasing power already. Again, no one has the guts to ask the president or the vice president, because they're on the same page, how much of the purchasing power must be stolen from us before it's enough. Right now, we've lost 96%. Is it 97? Is it 98? I want someone here to tell what's the right number, because President Trump seems to know what it is, but no one wants to ask him. Maybe someone here that still believes in this guy can enlighten all of us here as to what the number actually is. But again, if we return purchasing power to the currency, we turn this all around. Consumers will consume. Our factories would start waking up here. Retail sales would pick up. You can't make this stuff up. But that's what our president sees after he murders civilians. And there's no accountability for it. But there is. The book tells you, right? Anyway, let's move forward, guys and girls. So, abysmal economic news. The stock market finished basically flat. We had a loss for the Dow, a loss for the S&P, a slight gain for the NASDAQ. Bond market not doing too much. Dollar, a slight knee-jerk higher here. Cryptocurrencies under some pressure. Gold and silver under a little pressure. Crude oil got a bump. So, President Trump, again, notice I'm going to show you something here. I do a much better job as he blasts Powell for not weakening the dollar and lowering rates. Now, again, someone here who still believes in Trumpism. What am I missing here? Because I am willing to learn. Um, I don't think we have anything to learn here. It's pretty much wide open. And the Fed did not cut rates today. I had said months ago I expected this month or next month. Okay, next month, my bet is that the Fed will, in fact, cut rates. But let's cut into this a little bit deeper and find out what's going on here. Basically, so as I said, here's the headline. I'm going to cover this with you. Fed leaves rates unchanged. Fed did say they're sticking with a forecast of 2 cuts this year. I believe the first one is going to start next month. And President Trump, no matter how much they cut, no matter what the Fed does, it's not going to be enough. It's a game here that they're setting up. And again, there's no pushback. I really wonder how many of President Trump's still, I can't imagine he has a single one, loyal followers. Why are they not asking the simple question? What is enough? How much of the dollar has to be dissolved? How much do they have to kill the dollar before it's enough? I mean, I don't know. You guys and girls, let me know because I'm not smart enough to know. So this is, again, for all of you that do subscribe to my Freedom channel, please do so. There's a link in the description of this video. I'm just going to cover a few things with you real quick. Fed leaves rates unchanged. No, the real problem comes down to this. Real liquidity is evaporating. Liquidity is the system's ability to move money quickly through the banks and markets and the businesses. Reverse repo levels are drying up very rapidly. There's only $400 billion left. Money velocity continues to slow down. The economy is dying. And as you all know, in a healthy economy, dollars move quickly. But today, velocity is near record lows. Maybe President Trump wants to explain that to you. Can he explain to me? Because I'm really not that smart. And Trump is a lot smarter than I am. So many of you have told me that. Why is it that we're stealing purchasing power from the currency instead of returning it, which would allow the consumer to consume, which would then wake up our factories that we were supposed to make America great again by producing things? But you see, it doesn't work. When you serve not the book that I showed you earlier, but a different book, well, then this is what you get. So anyway, I'm not going to read through this whole thing. Why? Because I want you guys and girls to sub to my Freedom channel. Now, this is another thing that you're going to find in your inbox. The war of collapse. Let's talk about, again, the Yemen war, 2 months, cost us billions, hundreds of billions of dollars here, and we murdered civilians and non-combatants. And you know what? We're all responsible, aren't we? At least I and I are pushing back. We tried to raise awareness during that whole thing. Oh, Greg, you're wrong. Trump knows what he's doing. These are surgical strikes. Well, you could believe me, or you could believe this Christian organization that represents 580 million Christians here around the world. They're lying to you. They lie, but President Trump here, he's telling you the truth. Nah, I would pick that the church organization. That's just Greg Mannarino, though. The war of collapse. Now, what's really going on here, people? Again, this is not a war from power, and all wars are lies. They're all lies. This is a war from panic. The U.S. empire under Trump's leadership and the shadow of Israel's demands. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, is now acting like a wounded beast. What we're seeing is a classic final act before every single empire. This is how they have collapsed. Overextended military, drowning in debt, blame the enemy. Very easy to blame Iran, isn't it, here? After 30 years, more than 30, Net and Loco over there still hasn't been proven right. But even U.S. intelligence says there's nothing there, but we're going to hit it. And Russia just warned us not to do it. You probably know about this. Again, if you do subscribe to my Freedom platform here, you know all this already here. So Babylon is lighting a match in a room filled with gas. This is what it went on to say, and acting like it's a candle of freedom. You can't make that up, but this is exactly what's happening here. Why does this all stand out right now? Because it's the same pattern. It happened to Rome before it fell, Nazi Germany, ancient Babylon. Every single previous empires collapsed for the same reasons. The main reason is the disconnection from the Almighty, the murder, the death, the pain, just like President Trump is inflicting on the world right now. But you guys love him. Some of you I see through the comments. America is following the same script. Watch the economy, I went on to say. They will print, spend, call for a weaker dollar, just like today, President Trump, and distract, but the debt is terminal. Expect manufactured enemies. It's Iran today, someone else tomorrow. And war is the medicine of Babylon. We won't remain silent, and I certainly won't. If you don't like what I have to say, I don't know what to tell you. It's the truth, and that's probably why some of you don't like it. The truth is like a sword that cuts to the throat of the liars, and they can't stand it. We speak out, we warn, and we roar. Let's move forward here a little bit. So Russia is warning the United States not to strike. Again, this is in your inbox if you do sub to my Freedom channel. And here's Trump. What do you notice is a similar thing. I can do a better job than the Fed. I may not strike. This man literally thinks he's Nebuchadnezzar. He's Pharaoh here, okay? Again, a man who doesn't have the ability to humble himself before God because he admitted he's never asked God for forgiveness. This is Nebuchadnezzar. This is Pharaoh. And you see what it's doing to the United States. This is God's wrath. We are being brought down. Russia warns the United States not to strike Iran. Russia is telling the United States not to strike Iran because it would radically destabilize the Middle East. I'm going to just read this to you. So this is the truth. Russia says don't destabilize the Middle East. But the United States isn't accidentally wandering into this, okay? It's deliberately steering the United States and wherever else here into this world of chaos. The United States doesn't want peace in the region, okay? The president of peace, we murdered thousands of civilians in Yemen, and we're going to still murder more. The U.S. doesn't want peace in the region. It wants controlled collapse, manufactured instability to justify a military buildup, financial resets, and, of course, domestic lockdowns. And we haven't seen anything yet, people, and I mean anything. Are we on the same page or no? Because I really need to know what's going on here. It's interesting how, let's see, the Russia-Ukraine war vanished. The mass murder that the United States has committed in Yemen here, because Trump, ordered it. Well, it didn't work out too well. I wonder how God is going to look upon all of us in this nation. Do you think maybe we're suffering right now? Maybe that's the actual root cause of the problem. It's all in the book. It's all here. Okay. And that's exactly why America is failing right now. And it's going down. It's going to end up like Sodom and Gomorrah, pressed into the earth. You know that not even birds fly over that area? The Dead Sea, it's lifeless. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here to whatever's left of this nation here. You probably should get out. Believe me, I'm thinking about getting out of here. I really am. It's crossed my mind as of late, especially here. You want to live with an I will do this. I may do that. I can do better than this. I this, I that. Really? Oh, okay, good. How about, I think there's a higher power here that's going to have something to say about it. And you don't think that we're all going to have to answer for what I allowed to happen? At least you and I are trying to speak out about it. And I mean, we all got ridiculed, of course. Oh, you don't know, Greg. Trump is doing the right thing. He's the peace president. I told everyone there'd be more war. Remember all that? We did that. And that wasn't us either, man. Everything that we talk about comes from the source, okay? All glory goes to God. We all know that. But what we have here is a godless man and his sidekick, Damian Thorne, murdering, completely going against every single thing that Christ spoke about. Nothing. There's no alignment whatsoever. And I think we can all agree on that. If not, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're missing it. I really think you're missing the point here. We are under the judgment right now, and things are not going to change. I told you guys 2 months ago that the U.S. economy would be unrecognizable 6 months from that time. Look where we are now. Retail sales cratering, manufacturing, factory activity continuing into contraction here. You can't make any of this stuff. Money velocity dropping to an all-time low here. Housing starts cratering. People can't survive. A president and a vice president calling for a weaker dollar than it is now, and no pushback. Where are those who have a voice besides I and I? Does someone out here want to tell me? The synagogue of Satan is the United States, quite obviously. And a current leadership, there's no leader here. Okay. There's no leader here. We know where President Trump's alignment lies. And if people don't like what I am saying here, it's because it's too much truth for you. And I'm telling you, yeah, I know. Trump is now, Iran is weeks away. He's joining the gravy train with Netanyahu, who for over 30 years has been saying the same thing, right, Sammy? I appreciate that. I tell you, man, it's over. It's really just over here. So we need to start hunkering down, more so, people, and take action. Honestly, let your voice be heard if you're not happy about what's going on. You don't want to participate in more murder, more lies. It's the same thing. You remember, we know where the weapons are, the weapons of mass destruction. We're going to flatten that place. We murdered how many civilians over there? But that's okay, right? It's all right. God's going to just forgive us all. Well, not if you don't do anything about it. He knows your heart. You know that. Come on, guys. And now it's the same thing. It's the same thing repeated because it worked the last time. Trump going against his own intelligence agencies. He knows better because Netanyahu's pulling the strings, ain't he? We need more war to liquefy the system. Don't you see? The Yemen war wasn't enough. The hundreds of billions was a pacifier. It cost probably tens of thousands of civilian lives. But that's okay too, isn't it? Because it wasn't us. You didn't actually order it, but did you do anything about it? Did you share the videos that we did together, her and I? Or did you just say, Trump knows what he's doing? He's the man. He's been sent here by a divine authority. You still believe that, some of you? My own mother still believes that, believe it or not. It's unbelievable. They've been completely spiritually disenfranchised. And they've obviously had their souls taken over by some kind of a dark force. And that's all this man is, a dark force, a stain on this nation. And God is watching. Yeah. You really happy the way things are going for you right now? You like it? Make it up, guys and girls. You can't make this stuff up. But that's just the way it is. Looks like David is delusional. Sorry, bro. Maybe you should get on the right side of it. Yeah, I know, guys. Anyway, anything you guys and girls want to talk about before we get out of here? I think we pretty much lined it up here. America is going down. This has not been the United States of America for a very, very long time. It is some kind of yet to be defined corporate state controlled by the government, which is actually the central banks. Does someone here want to enlighten me just a little bit, maybe how that works here? Now it will become a military state, test beds for the military on the civilian streets to see what people are going to do, what they can get away with, face diapers, whatever else they got to push on us. You think they're done? You think this is it? Because I told you guys and girls from a long time ago, what did we speak about, I and I? We were going to see the things of the nightmares. Well, don't listen to Greg Mannarino. Listen to the World Church Council. They're spelling it out for you. See, but you're not allowed to know that stuff. You're not allowed to see it because he might wake you up just a little bit. Yeah, I know. Doge is going to pay off the debt. I know. I was told everything on the earth, and Doge ended up costing us hundreds of billions. We didn't save anything. How'd you like those arrests? I got laughed at. I said there wouldn't be a single arrest. Greg, you're wrong. There's going to be parades of arrests. We're going to see them all in handcuffs. Has there been one? You think there's still going to be one? I don't know. That's a good question, John. I don't know. Away from here. I don't know, man. This, I really believe what I'm saying. We're watching this thing come apart. And it's not, it's about the currency. Absolutely. We could fix this by turning around the currency. We could rebuild this nation. There's no doubt about it. But we have a president and his vice president here who was once an anti-Trumper of the highest order, who has sold his soul to the devil, quite obviously. and now backs up everything he said. Calling for a weaker dollar as if we haven't lost enough purchasing power, and elimination of the middle class, of course, on the back of that, a destruction of U.S. small businesses, our factories evaporating, layoffs all over, and we can't survive. We could fix all this abso-freaking-lutely here. But so many people drank the freaking Kool-Aid. Not I and I. We saw this from 25 miles away. I think it's pretty obvious. Look, guys and girls, this channel here is not for everyone. I get that, but I really do hope that you will join me on my freedom platform, because I have so much more to say that I can't say here. I want everything over there. I want everything over there. There's roughly about, I think, 800 of you. 800 out of the 270,000 that follow this blog. 800 out of the 73,000 that is subscribed to my news. We got 800 people. And I want to thank those, because you're my base. You are the guys and girls. Think about what I'm saying here. The masses don't care. It's not even worth 11 cents a day to have freedom. They don't want to sacrifice. They talk a good game, but 11 cents a day is too much. And that's the absolute lowest that Substack will allow. If it could be $1, that's what I would have put it at. But again, that's just the way it is. 800 people so far. I'm hoping more of you will join me over there, and we really could change things. I mean, starts out small. I think we're too far gone. Again, there's too many people who worship Donald Trump as he worships himself. He is Nebuchadnezzar. He is Pharaoh. Who is this God that I should bow before him, that I should ask for forgiveness? How is it that evangelical people even voted for this guy? Can someone explain? A man that admitted that he grabs women by the vagina? That's something Jesus would have done, correct? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Jesus would have said, put up a wall as well, wouldn't he? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what he would have done. I don't know, but what can I tell you? All right, guys, listen. We're pretty much, I think, on the same page. Let's see. Look, tomorrow this market is closed for Juneteenth. It's prime for, again, a false flag attack or something along those lines. Generally, they do these things. President Trump, not the American people, I may attack Iran. I may not. I have the power of human life here. I can murder, and people will worship me. He builds towers to himself with his name across them. Does that sound familiar? Because that happened here too. You remember what happened with that whole thing? Yeah, exactly. See, guys and girls, come on, man. Come on. Anyway, look, anything else, anything you guys and girls want to talk about before we go? Honestly, I don't know, man. Lava was just here. Did she leave us? No, Lava was just here. Anyway, guys, we're gonna take a break here. You're not gonna see me tomorrow. However, if you do subscribe to my obvious my freedom channel here, long live King Greg. I am no king, man. I am nothing. I am zero. I am slime. That's what I am. Okay. Let's see Donald Trump say those words. Okay. I realize that I owe everything to God the Father, the creator of all things. And he owes me nothing. And I praise him every minute of my life. Every word that comes out of my mouth, I wish I could say, praise God behind it. And I do in my head. But that's not Donald Trump. That's not what we have here. The Vances, the Netan Locos here murdering. You know how many people were murdered in Gaza, but it was for safety, right? And Trump what did he say? He wants to build a hotel over there. What does that tell you? Upon their broken bodies, their broken lives, the wailing mothers, the sons, the daughters. That's what Trump wants to do. And this is a guy who still has even one person here, maybe Ronix, who still serves that man. I and I serve one, God the Father. Are we on the same page? I think, at least I hope we are. Because if we're not, you're going to hear more of this stuff. I can promise you that. And again, I really sincerely hope that I will see you guys over on my Freedom platform. I want to get out of here. I'm done with this censorship. All of you, even your comments get censored. It's not me removing them. They screen it all via AI. And this is about to get much worse here. And what really should scare you, what you should take away from this, honestly, again, the Yemen war was not enough, hundreds of billions of dollars. They need another mechanism to pull cash into the system, which will, of course, is massively inflationary. President Trump won't tell you that, obviously, right, Lava? Lava knows. Anyway, that's what they're not done with us at all. We're going to get a weaker dollar as President Trump keeps calling for it. Vance is on the same page. Nothing on this earth or off this earth makes a central banker happier than to hear a sitting U.S. president and vice president call for the one thing that they want. The Fed wants to be, and already is, the lender and buyer of a last resort. They get to issue more of their currency. How does the Fed lower rates? When President Trump says, I demand lower rates, or Vance now, calling the Feds, what did he say they were? Committing some horrible act here, for monetary, whatever the freak it was, yeah, because they're not killing the dollar anymore than it's already dead and it's going down. To say goodbye to the dollar. You got the euro here. You got the European Central Bank looking to dethrone the dollar. The BRICS nations, obviously China now looking for some kind of multipolar currency to again sidestep the dollar. Everyone knows it's dying except for the followers of, I guess, of Donald Trump. And JD Vance. Instead of following God, they follow their man gods. And every single man god in history, go back as far as you want to go, gets erased. You know what happened to Pharaoh? They couldn't even find his body. Yeah, it's in the book. Yeah, he was erased. You remember what happened to Nebuchadnezzar? I love the story. It's an incredible thing. He ended up eating grass like a beast. I think it was for 7 years until he finally turned his eyes up to God and said, I submit. And then he turned it all around. We don't have that here. We have a country being run by a godless man who sees himself as at least equal to God, and throngs of people that follow him, following him into the pit, and this nation is going down because of that. It's an incredible thing. Incredible thing to see. All right, guys. So expect more war, more pain, more suffering, any mechanism to keep the system liquid. As I said, this is really a liquidity problem, and the Fed will be cutting rates. It's just a matter of time. All this is in your inbox. Everything I just spelled out for you, the liquidity problem that we're in, what's happening right now, the Fed's repo program is potentially dead right now. There's $400 billion left in there right now. Just in up 2023, there's 2.5 trillion. It's an incredible thing to see, but that's what's happening right now. Love you guys. I really, really do. Again, please consider joining me over and on my Freedom platform. I will not be here tomorrow. No morning video. Market is closed. No post market, but I will send you guys out material in my newsletter. I'm not going to let you down. And I really hope to see you there, guys and girls. Let's band together here. I really believed, when I started to get shot down, when I saw so few people wanted to back I up, when I wanted to basically storm the Fed, even some YouTubers with channels bigger than mine wanted nothing to do with it. And I started to say, whoa, hold on a minute. There's no cohesion here. So without cohesion, a house divided cannot stand. It's in the book too. Yeah. I was a deacon at my church for years. I think I know the book pretty well. Anyway, I won't even get into that, but that's a whole other thing. All right, guys and girls, we're going to get going. I love you guys. I'll see you. I won't see you tomorrow. I might not even see you Friday. Let me tell you what's going on here. I'm getting off the grid here. I'm having a whole new system, a solar system with battery backup put in my house right now. It's a big freaking job. I want to get off the grid and maybe even out of this country at one point, because again, I really believe it's under God's judgment right now. I really do. And I know most of you, you feel it, you hear it. Many of you wonder, should I leave? That's a divine voice saying, you know what? I'm calling on the remnant. I really believe, guys, call me crazy, okay? But I sincerely believe that the Almighty takes care of his own. The Almighty, through dreams, through apparitions, through whatever it might be, maybe through direct contact, I have no idea. Everyone receives it a different way. It's telling you to get out. Maybe this is the remnant, I being told to go. You guys and girls, let me know. Or, because I'm willing to learn things here. I think this is our thing. This is not my thing. I think we're all on the same page with this whole thing. All right. So again, you won't see me tomorrow. You may not see me Friday, depending, because they might have to turn my power off. In fact, I have it on the schedule here. This is what, no power. You guys know this book here? Good book. I know you know the other book, but this is a good book too. Tells you about holidays, stuff like that. It's a good tool for traders, honestly. And for me, I use it as my calendar as well. So I may not have power Friday, but that does not mean I'm going to abandon you. For those of you out here that subscribe to my Freedom channel, you will get information there. Even, well, hold on a minute here. If I got no power on Friday, I can't even do that. But I'll be thinking of you. I really will. Now, let's just see what happens here. Again, holiday tomorrow. Could be a false flag. I may attack, not the United States of America. I. Again, Pharaoh talk. You understand? We don't have a president. We have a man who sees himself as equal to God here. Doesn't end well for that person or the nation. We chose this guy, right? Well, no, I don't believe that's actually true. I believe the election was rigged and a selection took place and we didn't choose anything. But and that's one way to that's my take on it. I don't have to go on about this stuff here. Look, I love you guys. I'm going to miss you tomorrow, but you will hear from me. I will have power tomorrow at least. So if you don't see me, I'll let you know tomorrow in my newsletter if I'm going to have power or not. And if I do, I'll be here on Friday to do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? To do odd things. Love you guys and girls. All right. So I'll see you. I want you to ponder what we covered here deeply, honestly. Okay. And look, I'm not here to change your mind about anything at all. I really want you guys to just engage yourselves and speak out against it. And if you don't like what you're seeing here, if this isn't what you voted for, well, let President Trump know about it. Not like, you have any meaning at all for him. You're insignificant. You're lower than the spit on the ground or the dog shit that he steps on. You mean nothing to him. You really believed all that during the, what has happened here? Really, honestly. Other than the fact that we've murdered thousands and thousands of innocent people. But other than that, everything's okay, right? I'll see you.